Thank you. Well, good evening to everyone here in the chamber and for everyone listening. My name is Stan Fleming, and on behalf of the University Place City Council, I'd like to call this regular meeting of the University Place City Council for Monday, March 16th, 2026 to order. Joining us this evening from Washington, D.C. is our Mayor Pro Tem, is Councilmember Boykin, and I can't see Councilmember Figueroa, so we have two other council members who are online with us tonight. With that said, I'd like to welcome everyone here in the chamber and those who are listening to this meeting. With that said, I'd like to ask Madam Clerk if you'd please call the roll.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Figueroa is excused. Councilmember Boykin?
I'm here.
Councilmember Cunningham?
Here.
Councilmember Wood?
Here.
Councilmember Grassi?
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem McCluskey?
I'm here.
Mayor Fleming?
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. Let's move to item number 3 on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. I'm going to ask Councilmember Cunningham, would you please lead us tonight?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'd like to move to item number 4. At this time, Madam Mayor Pro Tem, we didn't know whether you'd have connectivity or not tonight, so we have pinch hitting for you, if you will, Councilmember Grassi, if that's all right with you. Okay, thank you. So with that, I'd call for an approval of the agenda.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and seconded. Is there anything on the agenda someone would wish to have changed, amended, removed, modified? Seeing that there is none, the agenda is approved. Let's move to item number 5, if we would. At this time, we are in public comment on this agenda. This is really an opportunity for the members of the public to provide comments to the City Council about any item that is not appearing on the agenda or on the consent agenda. For those who are joining us online, the instructions on how to participate are shown on the screen. Is there anyone online who wishes to comment? Madam Clerk.
Mayor, there's no one online.
Thank you. With that, we will move to public comment here in the chamber. We have 2 citizens signed up tonight. First one is Bob Brakey. Thank you, sir. If you'd come forward, you have 3 minutes, and if you would, please state your name and address for the record. And with these mics, you actually have to talk really close in order for us to hear.
Well, thank you. My name is Bob Brackey. I've been a long-term resident of University Place, and my address is 5303 58th Avenue West, UP 98467. Thank you, council members and Mayor Fleming, for the opportunity to address the council. I'm here tonight on behalf of University Place Indivisible. We're a group of citizens working together to support democracy. And we invite you to join us on Saturday, May the 28th at noon near Homestead Park for the 3rd No Kings Day rally. More than 2,800 chapters of Indivisible across our nation will mark this day by gathering to protest the many attacks on our freedoms and to support the United States Constitution. We're committed to nonviolence, and we rally to celebrate both the rights and citizens of our great nation. There'll be music, balloons, bubbles, costumes, messages of protest, but also lots of joy. Thank you for the time, and please consider joining us on March 28th. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Ashka Luden. Ma'am, if you would please state your name, address for the record, speak close to the mic, and you have 3 minutes, ma'am.
My name is Oscar Ludden, resident of 83030 41st Street West. I am here to bring forward the litter issue around the schools and the lack of trash cans. I believe that if we, the city, provide more trash cans around at least minimum 4 blocks area around the school, the litter problem would significantly drop. This also includes dog poo bags, which is a huge problem because I walk everywhere with my dog, and I, from one destination to another, have seen 12 poo bags deliberately tossed into bushes, and most of the time I do end up picking them up and collecting them. But the fact is, I shouldn't have to. So I think that more receptacles should be a solution, especially at those stations where the city's already providing the poo bags for the dogs. That's it. That's my concern.
We so appreciate it. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Seeing that there's no further public comment, we will move on to item 6A and 6E, approval for the consent agenda. At this time, I'll call for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as proposed.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and seconded. Seeing no objections, the consent agenda is approved. Let's move now to item number 7, and this is council considerations. The first item tonight on our agenda is the Arts and Culture Advisory Commission. For the staff report, we'll call on our city attorney tonight, Mr. Matt Kaiser.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. Matt Kaiser, City Attorney. Before you tonight for consideration is adoption of an ordinance creating an Arts and Culture Advisory Commission, or the ACAC. Council's previously studied this 3, if not 4 previous times at length, so by necessity, I'll keep my comments fairly brief tonight. And in a nutshell, the commission, council choose to adopt this ordinance would create a 5th commission in addition to the 4 existing commissions. This commission would create an Arts and Culture Advisory Commission, as its name suggests. It also makes several additional changes to the municipal code. Chief among them, this would create a commission. It has, with changes to the Parks Commission, creating a 9-member commission. 7 adults, reserving 2 spots for youth with specified terms, which council's talked about at length in our most recent meeting. The focus of the commission is fairly broad, to promote broad awareness in arts and culture throughout the community, to review a number of additional things, including the acquisition and placement of art, artwork, gifts, and to otherwise promote the arts throughout the community. Because council's previously discussed this at length, at this point, I'll pause. I'll stand for questions. However, because it's for consideration, I recognize council will probably want to spend a lot more time talking about it than I will. So with that, I'll turn it back over to council.
Thank you, Mr. Kaiser. Are there any questions from council at this time? Online?
I do have one question.
Thank you. Okay, Councilmember Wood.
So just one thing I just want to check on the wording here when regarding the Parks Advisory Commission shall have 9 members, 2 of whom, it just reads, 2 of whom shall include 1 member from the city's youth population.
That's a type.
Okay.
We'll need to amend that. Thank you for catching that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Okay. Seeing none.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem, did you have your hand up? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes, I
you
did.
not see it. Sorry. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you. No. That's okay. Emmy caught it.
Okay.
I was curious about that verbiage with the youth member, because there was a discussion on council that if we couldn't get a youth, then it would be opened up to an adult. So that language. So if we provide that exclusive language, is that going to mean that if we can't get the 2 youths on it, we just remain at a 7-member body commission? That's how I'm reading it?
That's, yes, 7 adult, 2 youth. So
Right.
if you can't fill the 2 youth positions, they sit vacant until such time as they can be filled.
Okay, good. Because we had that issue with the Parks Commission where we filled it with an adult, and then now we have to wait for that seat to vacate at some time.
Right.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that clarification, Mr. Kaiser.
Yeah. But I would encourage an amendment once we get a motion to approve so we can make that quick fix.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. I want to make sure I get this right this time. Seeing that there's none, I'm just going to ask Madam Clerk for a quick clarification. You know, on the agenda here, it shows there is public comment. Is that correct? Okay. So at this time, we will open up for public comment for anyone who's wishing to comment. For those who are online, we would ask that you just follow the directions that are on the screen there. And then after that, we will go to public comment for those who are here in the chamber. So is there anyone online, Madam Clerk?
There are no one online, Mayor.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the chamber wishing to address this specific topic? Okay, seeing that there's none, we will close public comment at this time and move to the council for deliberation. At this time, I would request a motion to adopt.
Mayor, I move to pass ordinance amending Chapter 1.35 of the University Place Municipal Code creating an Arts and Culture Advisory Commission.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and seconded. At this time, we'll entertain an amendment. Motion to amend.
The recommended text would be to amend the language in section 2 of the ordinance, amending the language of 1.35030, specifically sub A, sub 3, to read as follows. The Parks Advisory Commission and Arts and Culture Advisory Commission shall have 9 members, 2 of whom shall be members from the city's youth population, if feasible.
Okay. Is there a motion to amend?
I move to amend the motion as described by the city attorney.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the amendment? Okay. Seeing that there's none, all in favor of the amendment as described by the city attorney, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Let's move to the ordinance itself. That is adoption of the ordinance of the City of University Place, Washington, amending Chapter 1.35 of the UPMC, creating an Arts and Culture Advisory Commission as amended. At this time, before we call for the vote, are there any council comments? Councilmember Wood.
I just wanted to take a moment to say that I am very proud of this moment, finally, that we are at the point of having an Arts and Culture Commission in our community. I think, we spend a lot of time here on the Dais talking about how to make this place, this city, a community and a nice place to live. And we talk about public safety and we talk about fixing streets, and all those are extraordinarily important. But talking about the arts is what makes a community a place people really want to live. It helps them build a relationship with the town they live in. And so I am just very excited that we're moving in this direction, and I am grateful that we're at this stage. So, Mayor, thank you.
Thank you very much. Mayor Pro Tem.
There we go. I muted myself. I am so excited, as Council Member Wood is as well. I was extremely excited and honored to partner with him on this endeavor. This sets us in a new frame and in a new world for University Place. It creates a huge, giant leap forward. We've had an Up for Art organization that has helped us, but this Arts and Culture Commission will definitely create a broader span and hopefully solidify a concrete pathway forward to in perpetuity to keep arts along with culture within our community. It is essentially important that this commission included culture and create a 5-year model that will drive not only a lot of the things that we do that dovetails into some of our council goals that we have currently, but also transition into economic development, public safety, and for all those other things that on that wheel of all those widgets that I had sent out to everybody. It impacts every facet of our life here in UP, and we'll just be a little more mindful on how we do it, and as we march forward to continue with not only the vibrant community that we have, but to keep it beautiful for everyone that likes to come and enjoy UP, live, and and work and play in our city. It will also preserve our spaces so that it's welcoming and people feel comfortable in them. It will encourage voices and more stories. That will help if we can partner with also the UP Historical Society. That can hopefully be made up as part of this commission. There is a place for storytelling that will keep our history real and identifiable, so that people that will eventually in 10 or so years from now will come and appreciate just how we came to be and have a sense of pride, as well as identity of who we were, how we came to be, and also what will inspire us to continue to become. So as we consider this, and if it happens to come to approval, the makeup of this commission is essentially important to keep certain expertise of various art medias, but also culture, people who make up our community, how do they identify and have be part of that commission as well, so that we could keep that tapestry of who we are and continue to weave all the beautiful colors through it for the future. And so I'll be excited if this happens, and I'll be extra excited to hear what they decide to do and the policies that they've created and bringing those up to council for consideration. And I'll end my comments there.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem McCluskey. Councilmember Grassi.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to say congratulations as well to Mayor Pro Tem and Councilmember Wood for working so hard on bringing this forward. This was a well-done, comprehensive effort and when it was first presented to council and to our community, and so I want to say thank you for all of the efforts in doing this. I'm so excited that we also got to a place to really include our youth. I think this is going to be such an added value for our students, for our community, for our youth, and I know it took a little bit of extra work to get there, and I think it's going to be worth the effort, and so I'm really excited about that piece of it. But I also have to say, going around town and speaking to individuals, I have heard so much buzz and excitement about this Arts and Culture Commission, more than I have before. So I know the community is excited about it. I know there's anticipation, and they anticipate for this to be something that produces excellence for our community, and so I'm really excited about this evening and moving this forward. But thank you, Councilmember Wood and Mayor Pro Tem McCluskey, for your hard work initially to bring it forward. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Boykin.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to affirm that the evolution of holding space for arts and culture is a wonderful place for a city to progress to. I am really deeply appreciative of the community effort that began with the expectation of what might happen with arts, to then ultimately being a decision that what we'd like to do is move forward, and getting the energy of council members to lean into the effort to provide really strong information as well as a pathway that ultimately led us here. What is really appreciative is that the creative community has a place to continue to build in ways in which it also will align culture and grow our city in ways in which I really believe will be invaluable. The excitement is real. The absolute gratitude of people being able to see themselves in the Vision University Place is going to be a value that I believe everybody will be highly appreciative of as we continue to see it bloom. So thanks so much for the efforts on behalf of Mayor Pro Tem McCluskey, as well as Council Member Wood, and just excited about what it means to our city and to our citizens.
Thank you, Councilmember Boykin. Are there any other comments from the dais? Okay, I just want to summarize. I think the comments by the council members have all been extremely well said. I do want to thank Councilmember Wood and Mayor Pro Tem McCluskey for bringing this initiative forward. You know, it really is a dream or a journey that began roughly 2008. I think the city attorney can correct me if I'm wrong. When we made our first attempt to try to come up with a commission, it just never gained the momentum that it needed to come to fruition. So for Councilmember Wood and Mayor Pro Tem McCluskey to pick up that mantle and carry that to the finish line speaks volumes. You know, it's the one missing link we've had in our community. Arts and culture really helps define a community of what it is and what its beliefs and what its values are. So I think, as has been said on the dais tonight, this is really an exciting moment for the city. It's kind of soft and quiet up here for it, but really it is a very, very exciting moment and a milestone for our community. So with that said, I will ask the Madam Clerk if you'd please call the roll.
Thank you, Mayor.
Or the vote.
Councilmember Boykin,
Yes.
Councilmember Cunningham,
Yes.
Councilmember Wood,
Aye.
Councilmember Grassi,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem McCluskey, Mayor Fleming.
Aye.
Mayor vote results, 6 ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's well done to both of you. Let's move now to item number 8 for our city manager and council member comments and reports. Mr. Saag.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Tomorrow, excuse me. Tomorrow is the Battle of the Badges Blood Drive at West Pier Fire and Rescue Station number 31, which is just back here behind this building at 3631 Drexler Drive. The Battle of the Badges Blood Drive will take place from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The public is welcome and encouraged to participate. You can make online appointments at the American Red Cross website at redcrossblood.org. That's redcrossblood.org. Again, Battle of the Badges tomorrow at the University Place Fire Station from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we'll see who wins that battle. Thank you. That's my report, Mayor.
Are you going to be there?
I will be there.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. With that, let's go to council comments. I'm going to start this evening with those who are joining us online, since you're 3 hours ahead of us. And if I may start with Councilmember Boykin, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I certainly appreciate the consideration. It has been a long day. However, I have no report to make it even shorter for you.
Thank you, sir. Get some sleep, though, tonight. I understand getting to D.C. was quite a grueling endeavor, from what I understand. All righty. Mayor Pro Tem McCluskey.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. My council comments are, I really enjoyed our Councilmember Grassi putting together an International Women's Day with the Swank owner Angie on March 8th. It was extremely well attended, and they're honoring several different businesses in our community. That would also dovetail into Arts and Culture Commission, because they had a lot of really beautiful jewelry that they had designed, and also the culture of rest and relaxation with some massage and opportunities. And then also for the Sweet Tooth, we had One a Cupcake that participated. And I'm sure Councilmember Grassi will explain a lot more in detail than what I'm doing right now. We also had a ribbon cutting at Fusion Bistro over on 27th and Bridgeport. And if you haven't been there, Billy Lee, the owner, has pretty scrumptious food, and I would recommend everyone to go and honor him for being in the community. It was a long journey for him to open the doors, and since he persevered and the doors are open, I think it was about over 3 years or so, I hope our community comes in full force to support his business, so that it can grow and be another vibrant business in our city. attended a Up for Art meeting, and so we've been game planning how we're going to raise some funds to keep ourselves going, and planning some music venues in 2027 that will encourage some visual artists, and hopefully we can partner with Dance Theater Northwest to create a different feel and vibe, so that we could have music along with a live musical band along with dance. And so with Dance Theater's Melanie's creative genius, maybe we could do something pretty unique in the atrium for our citizens. Also, the Americans for Art, I had the 5th meeting with them. There's a small collection of citizens that came and joined me. And we will have our next meeting sometime in May. I'll shoot out the date to those who were not able to attend. And they are very excited and encouraged, especially the inclusion of the culture piece. And they just keep giving us a plethora of information in regards to art and culture and what it can do in the community. And they are an organization that will help municipalities bring it to fruition and have some connection to some funding, because as we know, funding makes the world go around and our dreams come true. So we will, and I may also have an opportunity, and I'm going to take advantage of that, of going to Albuquerque, New Mexico, in the first week of June for the American for Arts Conference. And so hopefully we'll be connecting with a lot more people there, gets a lot more ideas, and bring back hopefully a lot of golden nuggets on how we can move our Art and Culture Commission forward in the right direction. You know, we're brand new with a clean slate. There's a lot of Arts and Culture Commissions that, you know, they've taken some missteps, and hopefully we can avoid those. We'll make our own missteps, but hopefully the ones that have already been made, we won't repeat those. I'm here also. One thing about the National League of Cities in Washington, D.C. that I'm here with Councilmember Boykin and Councilmember Figueroa is that there is an organization called America 250. And so they have a whole toolkit laid out. And so I have the link to that. And one of the things that they indicated from the national directive, well, it's not really directive, as if the cities want to take part of it, is to provide citizens with these small handheld flags that they could wave on the whatever their celebration is for the 250th anniversary of our independence. And with that, I'm going to close my remarks, and I'm going to save my rest of my NLC comments for a later time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem McCluskey. We'll start at the dais here with Council Member Cunningham.
Thank you so much, Mayor. I, too, got to experience what we like to call a Girls' Day, basically, on International Women's Day at Swank Boutique. It's been great to just partner with her. It was great turnout, got to lots of connections and lots of great opportunities to visit those other businesses that were there, the charcuterie board. That's my thing, I think. So it was fun to just support her, and I think I went back 3 days later because she had some things that came in my size, so I had to go and see. So that's been exciting to partner with such a great business owner that's doing great work out here, and then to meet other business owners that are doing the same thing as her. So thanks so much, Councilmember Grassi, for putting that together. It was really remarkable and fun to see people and to see Councilmember Boykin over there buying the clothes. I think when I was there, he was the only man in there, so that was fun. Yes, I saw you, even though you probably think I didn't see you. I also got to attend the kickoff for Marilyn Strickland, our Congresswoman for the 10th District. That was exciting. She's running for another term, as we all know. And she does remarkable things for us in our community. We recently just got some funding for a project that we care about that she helps support. So we're excited to rally for her. She had a great turnout. She had great speakers. She raised some money, and it was great to be there to support her because she does great things for all of us, especially when we're running for office, to support University Place as her district. So it was great to be there with her. The Easter egg hunt is coming up. I think we have a weekend and a half, and it sounds like there's some other great things going on that same day, as you heard from in public comment. We are proud to have Indivisible University Place out here. It is a large chapter, and we recently got our own, so it's exciting to be able to support them. Democracy is real, and it's great to be able to champion that effort. So on that same day, March 28th, it's going to be a busy day. 2 parks in our district that we both love so much, Homestead and Cirque, are going to have some great activities and attractions. So mark your calendars for the first Easter egg hunt that's going to be presented by TAPCO Credit Union and the No Kings March and Homestead. So we have a lot of things going on in the next week and a half. Hopefully it doesn't snow or rain or anything other than sun. So we're excited for that. And that's all I have, Mayor.
That's a lot. Thank you very much. Councilmember Wood.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm just sitting here basking in the glow of the Arts Commission. So I have actually nothing to report today. Thank you.
And you rightfully so. Thank you. Not to report, but to bask.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like having a new baby, right?
Exactly.
That's awesome. Councilmember Grassi.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to say thank you to Ashka for bringing that litter notice to our attention. So thank you. And thank you for caring enough to pick up the dog remnants when you see it and going the extra mile. What makes our community special is people fully engaged, not just on good days, but hard days, and looking and seeing something that you can lean over and pick it up. While I agree with you that we can do better at providing receptacles, I really appreciate your effort and so many residents' efforts to make our community better by going first and initiating. So whether it's through rallies or picking things up or starting new projects, thank you. This makes our community special and better. So thank you for that. Thank you for taking your time to bring that to our attention. Last Monday, I had the opportunity to be invited by Lieutenant Governor Heck to lead the Senate invocation as they concluded their last week of business down at the state legislature, which was an honor to be there. I want to thank our state legislatures for working hard this last short session, and exciting funding updates are going to come from that as well from our representatives. But it was such an honor to lead that invocation and be invited by Lieutenant Governor Heck. So I want to say another thank you to that. Thank you to ladies that participated and gentlemen, Councilmember Boykin, in our Women's Day event with Swank and the Essential Pantry, Mama's Brittle, Wanna Cupcake, Salted Rim. So many businesses took additional time to celebrate International Women's Day. I want to thank all of you for helping and supporting and coming out. She had a wonderful turnout at both businesses, and so we will grow and do it again and do it even better. But for our first one, it was excellent. So thank you for the support, Councilmember Cunningham and Mayor Pro Tem McCluskey. It was a great day, and loved having everyone there. Fusion Bistro, congratulations on opening. You know, for those of you who don't know the history, our family was wonderful and blessed enough to have be in that location with our business for over 8 years, and we officially passed the torch to Fusion Bistro this past week. After 5 years, really, of that space being dormant, I'm excited for them to have new life at 27th and Bridgeport there. So go and support Fusion Bistro. I also attended the ribbon cutting for Timberland Bank with Mayor Fleming, and who also receives my small business spotlight for today. So if you want to go, and I would love for us to make our city presence there known. They had a wonderful turnout, and I believe Mayor Fleming and I were the only ones from the city at that event put on by the chamber. But Timberland Bank, they're open now at 19th, and so we're excited to have them. They were so complimentary of our public safety department. What they said, their branch manager and their employees said, we feel extremely safe in University Place because our public safety department has done outreach to them. So I want to thank Chief Burke and your team for making them feel welcome and safe. And so Timberland Bank, welcome. They've been around for 100 years, and they're excited to join University Place. So we're happy to have them here. Our home-based business reception event is happening tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. at Applebee's. So I encourage you, if you have a home-based business, we have a large contingency of home-based businesses here in University Place. And so they will be gathering tomorrow, 9 a.m. at Applebee's. Also, West Side Wake Up is now happening with the Pierce County Chamber of Commerce monthly instead of quarterly. So for those West Side businesses, their next event will be Friday, the 27th at New Hope Community Church, right on 27th in Bridgeport. So if you are a business owner, home-based, brick and mortar, any of those, I am so excited that our West Side businesses are getting more exposure and that this event is happening monthly. I want to thank Chair Sierra Boyce for bringing that. She is the owner of Hot Works right here in University Place and making that happen and filling the room once a month. So thank you to her. That's at 8:30 on Friday, the 27th. And then finally, the Farmers Market, University Place Farmers Market is back. It's going to be returning, new location, Thursday evenings starting in May at Curtis High School and Junior High. So more to come on that. So she has a new location. She's excited about it. I really am looking forward to conversation, hopefully with our with this council and city about how we can really rally support this year as she's returning second year. But I'm excited that that is going to be coming back to our community. So with that, that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
That's great information, so thank you for sharing. I'll just be brief tonight. I do want to start out with where Councilmember Grassi left off, and that is with the Timberland Bank ribbon cutting. It was spectacular. I had the opportunity to talk with their CEO and their president. They are so ecstatic to become a part of our community. They're over on 19th Street. And to echo what Councilmember Grassi said, they could not stop talking about our public safety and our police department. I mean, that was just the highlight prior to the actual ribbon cutting. They said they've never been in a community where they felt so safe and so welcomed. So kudos again, Chief, and to you and the rest of our police department that we have. I do also want to just let the council know, I just heard from Representative Murray Levitt, who represents our city down at the state legislature. They just went through sine die, which symbolizes the end of the session. Confirmed for the city was the funding for the Alameda Light project. So, and the other was for the, if I recall what she said, the HVAC system over at the Current Apple Orchard. So, as was stated previously, we are grateful to our elected representatives who represent our community at the state level, down at the legislature. They're always keeping us in mind and always fighting for the things that we need. So again, thanks so much. That is all I have this evening to report. And so with that, we would close the city manager and council comments and reports. And let's recess at this time to study session. So the first item on the agenda for study session tonight, and just to inform the community, there's no action taken during study session, and we do not take public comment during that time. This is simply a report, staff to council, council to engage staff on any additional questions they may have. So the first item on the agenda tonight is the YMCA Recreation Agreement, and to make that report is our Public Works Director, Mr. Jack Eklund. Jack?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor and City Council. As you mentioned, I'm Jack Eklund, Director of Public Works, and tonight we're bringing back to you for study an agreement with for the YMCA to provide recreation services to in University Place. We have little technical difficulties here. Let's see. While we're on that, I'll refer you to your packet. So your packet, you should find a memo that summarizes the kind of nuts and bolts of the agreement, as well as a 3-page document from the YMCA that is an overview of the proposed program that shows a timeline, kind of how the schedule of the various activities, as well as the proposed activities, and also the proposed pricing. And let's see, do we?
Jack, what button did you just push?
Not me. I didn't.
There we go. Okay, we got everyone back.
I guess we can proceed maybe, with... May
we proceed?
Well, it's on... There we go. Hey.
From there, so you have to cue them to say next.
Oh, so it'll cue. Okay, so go ahead and go to the next slide to start with, I think. This program would be a UP-branded program. It would be serving youths ages 5 to 12, at least for the initial offerings. It would have, although it would be available to the general public, but UP residents would receive priority registration. YMCA would be fully responsible, though, for the operation and administration of the programs and all the activities. And then the proposed activities would primarily occur on both city park property, but then mostly on school district property in accordance with our interlocal agreement with the school district. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide. So look at what are right now what we're projecting for the offerings of the different seasons. So the first actual full season, and these seasons would be generally about a 7-week or 7-game season, about 10 weeks of practice, three weeks prior to the first game is what they're looking at. Fall would be our first kickoff of a full season, and that would be proposed to be a basketball season with ages 5 to 12, so what we're projecting right now. Basketball you would start registration for that in the summer, in July, June timeframe. And then you'd be starting basketball they would start games in September. Winter, we would look at 27. We'd have both volleyball, and then they're considering flag football as an option as well. Both with a pretty broad age range. Now, one thing to note on the age range, some of it's going to depend too on what we find out when we're doing the marketing and the interest level too. But this is what they're right now looking for. And then spring of 27, we would have both T-ball, coach page, so a little bit younger ages for the baseball ones, about 5 to 10. And then we also would do a soccer program in the spring. The youth leagues right now, the projected cost would be a $95 charge for both UP residents as well as YMCA members. And then any non-resident, non-member would be $190 for a season. Let's go ahead and change to the next one. So there you go. The other thing we're looking at, the aspects of various skill clinics. Now, one thing that's exciting is there's a chance we might be able to have early this summer maybe and they'd be a little bit different than what some of the other skill clinics will be. These are more kind of a introduction to the partnership or introduction to the program, right? Some smaller, like 3-day clinics to generate excitement and interest and kind of build momentum to get into the full season, the sports season. So what they're looking at doing is doing a basketball clinic, a soccer clinic, and a volleyball clinic, and different weeks in the summer to have these kind of intro levels. Those clinics, we don't have the pricing worked out yet for those because they are a different, it's a smaller thing, and so we're still trying to figure out what that is. But we're hopeful that can get together. With any of these scheduling, you do have to think about there is still the logistics on the WISE end of the registration and the software. So we're hoping all that comes together. But that's our target right now, and so we're excited that's in the discussion still. Then they're looking at doing getting more of what the standard clinics would be like a 2-session. Basically, they are 6-week clinics in the fall would be a volleyball skills and drills clinic, which would be 2 sessions, 6 weeks each for volleyball, which would be 1 class a week during the thing. And then the winter, we would have a soccer skills clinic. Also, they're looking at 2 sessions of 6 weeks at 1 day a week. And then spring would be a basketball clinic. Just one session they're thinking of, but also be a 6-week long one. On these clinics, they would be a little cheaper than the league's $65 residents and YMCA members, and then $130 for non-resident. So another thing that's exciting about the skill clinics is I've had some initial conversation with our school district to see if we can also, because a lot of the kids in the sport programs are always looking for ways to volunteer and get more kids involved and excite many ages. And I know my daughter has, they've both been involved in the women in sports group that the athletic director, Suzanne Vick, has a champion put together. And they have put together some small clinics, and we're looking at this could be a fun partnership to bring the school district into some of these clinics too to help that. So I'm excited about that aspect as well. Let's move to the next. Okay. All right. So a little bit of timeline then. So right now we would be on track to come back to council in April for adoption. Then we'd need to start working on our community marketing, community outreach. This would be a combined effort, kind of both coordinated and separately. Both the Y would do marketing on their end, we'll do marketing with our communication folks, but it'll be a coordinated effort between the two. And it's really going to be lasting all year long, because it will be talking about not only each session, but then generating the interest and excitement to keep building for the next one and hopefully for the years to come. Then, as you can see, registration for the Summit Clinics would be in June and July, and then registration for Fall League would be August, September type of time frame. And then I think, let's see, I might not have, go to the next slide. I don't know if there's anything else on that one, actually. But one thing I do want to address, I know that we've had a fair amount of some concerns that were raised at a previous council member meeting, and also in some subsequent conversations from the UP Soccer Club, and also we've had some concerns from other sport clubs as well. A lot of these concerns, involve both scheduling of activities and making the field space, as well as a concern not to compete or kind of overlap too much with what those activities are. So from the field scheduling, I've had a conversation with Suzanne Vick with the school district, and they're committed to make sure that we can find spaces for all the community groups, because the interest is, we know the demand's out there for more services, but we also have, there is field space available that we can make sure there'd be a home for each of these groups. The other thing that we're looking at doing is, when we look at the schedule that the Y has proposed, they are shifting the type of seasons a little bit more than, or a little off from what the typical seasons are. So, for example, soccer, the typical season for soccer is fall. The YMCA offering is spring, to have less conflicts with some of our club groups. Similarly, basketball is usually a winter sport. This is in fall, so they're offsetting the scheduling of it. One, to keep interest, so folks, kids, if they are very excited about basketball, they can have a couple seasons for it by doing two things, or but also to help kind of minimize those kind of conflicts. So. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, Jack, thank you very much for that comprehensive report. Do we have any questions from council? Councilmember Grassi.
Thank you. Thank you, Jack, for this report. Thank you. I'm excited that we're at this spot here for youth recreation. And I have to say, it's an ask, as we all know here on the dais, and our council members watching and those community members, everybody in this community has had this on their forefront of their mind for youth sports. So this is a step in the right direction, and so I'm just excited that we're this far. I want to thank the Y for being thoughtful about this proposal, and also their flexibility to shift their schedule for those seasons. Also, thank you to UP School District and Suzanne Vick for being willing to be intentional about the scheduling meeting, because I do think it's going to take take a lot of maneuvering and listening and making sure that everybody has the space, and I really believe we have the right partners in place to make this happen. So this is a unique situation when we have so much agreement with the school district and with the Y and the city working together. A couple of questions as far as scholarship opportunities for residents to participate. I know that going into this, that was a major question that we had as council, making sure that that cost wouldn't be a prohibitive for people to participate. Has there been discussion further on that? I know it's not listed here, but I know that we had initial conversations regarding those scholarship opportunities.
Yeah, so because of the WISE structure and their what they can and can't do, they have an ability to offer scholarships for both for people that are members of the Y. That's because they're anything that they do for scholarships all comes from donations and contributions from their fundraising, so it all has to kind of link toward Y membership from that standpoint. We did build in the agreement, though, that the city can also, if there is a non-Y member that we would want to provide a scholarship for or offset those costs, that is built in here. It would essentially it would mean the city would be paying those costs for that member, or for that resident. But it is built in the agreement that we can accommodate scholarships.
Is there a precedent that we've followed for that before when we initially had our Parks and Rec department, and would we be following the same protocol for a scholarship application and awarding that?
Yes, so prior we did offer scholarships before, and we can certainly use that model. We may want to also kind of look at the WISE criteria too, just to try to be consistent so that it's similar, apples to apples, so folks know what they are. But certainly we can use our model, and we'll definitely be able to get that worked out before we have time to get all the fine-tuning of that before we roll out the program in the summer.
And just to reiterate for those watching and listening, this program would be housed administratively with the YMCA. They would be handling the administration, the application, the registration, but it would be branded and marketed as University Place Sports with the YMCA. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So we wouldn't be bringing that in-house, having any of our staff administrating that. It would, however, be marketed as ours with them in conjunction.
Yes, the only, I do envision some staff support with probably some of the coordination with the school district, and also if we do get into on the scholarships or some of the other things, and then we'd have periodic meetings with them just to kind of gauge how the program's going. But the lion's share of the administration and everything would be from the YMCA.
Okay. Thank you so much. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much. Mayor Pro Tem McCluskey.
Hi, thank you, Mayor. Well, two wonderful topics, Arts and Culture Commission, and now we're talking about bringing recreation in a partnership form to University Place, hopefully. Once we go into council action, that will come to fruition. So we've been, 11 plus years without a recreation program in our city, and our citizens on all the surveys have been pretty adamant that we bring recreation back, because as the Arts and Culture Commission, that cultural piece is important, and culture is not always tangible. This is an intangible piece of our culture that we've had missed for quite a while, where children and families come together in a sense of play and community, and they build their relationships from that. So I am also excited that I can look on our fields, and the strong partnership and support with our school is really exciting, because they will become definitely a strategic partner in this. And also to Mr. Eklund's comment about the school program for women in sports that Curtis High School has created, and several other schools are trying to model, where these young women athletes come together in an organized way to improve their sport, to encourage more women to come into sports. They also not only deal with the physical aspects of it, the play, but also the emotional and some of the apprehension that some women may have to play sports, to encourage them to come in and take part and have the joy of movement in the body with their body, and also to have a relationship with other like women in a organized sport. It was important for me when I was growing up. You know, I played sandlot ball and also organized sports going through my growing up youth and well into high school, and a little bit after high school, and a little more semi-pro softball. But that's been a very enriched part of my DNA, and I carry that with me throughout the rest of my life. So I am excited that there's an opportunity for the youth in our community to have that we will not exclude a child to connect with his peers in a community through sports and play. After all, we want everyone to not be on the sidelines, but to participate and have that joy of fun as they play with their peers, and be able to joke and have fun and just create that centering that they belong in this community. And whether they win or lose, it's about, at the end of the day, the play of the game, and how they play it, and what experience that they take away from that, because that would be a lifetime experience that will enrich them forever. And so the other hope I have is that if this comes to fruition and it gets going, and the YMCA thinks it's a wonderful partnership to continue on, maybe our Parks Commission will eventually become a Park and Recreation Commission. That's my hope. So with that, I'll conclude my comments, and I'll contain my excitement until my vote. Take care.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I don't think you're containing your excitement very well. But thank you so much for those comments. Councilmember Cunningham.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have a couple comments. Similar to Councilmember Grassi with the scholarship piece. So obviously, like financial assistance, quote unquote. So since that's going to be on the backs of the YMCA, is there going to be marketing for that portion of it? Because I think that if there is a perception that we offer that, or that they offer that by way of our residents, with the resident fee versus the non-resident, I'm looking at our UP residents, just to make sure that they are aware, because there are going to be some residents that would benefit from that. So, you know, sight unseen, they're not going to know that that's an option. So just making sure that there's some level of promotion of that. They do that if you were a Y member doing something that was through the Y specifically. So I just wanted to ask about that.
Yeah, we'll have to do it. We'd have to show it on probably our materials.
Yeah.
But
because,
yeah, we could do it on our website and the different things. And I know in the past we tied it a lot to the like the free lunch school.
Sure.
That was
right. It's the same
and
scale.
Just general also needs assessment type of thing. But
right.
yeah, we certainly can put that in any of our materials, and then note like contacts on our webpage
right.
on, you know, if you're interested in that or have need for that, please, you know,
right.
we'll set that up.
Yeah, just not to say just the resident fee, because then they won't know that if that's not applicable to them, then what is their option? So that piece. And then earlier you mentioned, and you know, we're all aware that we have other partnering club sports that are surrounding us. So I heard you mention, this is kind of dovetails into my third remark, is that, you know, you are going to have meetings along the way to test the theory, right, and to see how things are going. But we also want to keep our relationships with our other surrounding partners intact in the process. So I just wondered what the mechanism is going to be to use to gauge that. You said that the athletic director for the district is, going to work in conjunction. I'm sure that Superintendent Chamberlain is very well aware of this as well. But if in the case that things aren't moving smoothly, field access and use and schedule is not going as well, what is our, when are we going to yell mercy that something's going on, and then what are we going to do about it? So I just wondered what the plan is, and then who's going to come to the table to have those resolves, because the last thing we would want is to bring something else here, but then everything else is unraveling around it. So at what point will we figure out what the process is if things aren't going well schedule-wise with the sports and the competing field use? Yeah.
So at least from a discussion we had with the UP Soccer Club, who's the most, of the clubs, they're the most engaged with the city on this one. Not that others aren't interested, and certainly are welcome to, we're happy to talk to them as well. But we did make a commitment that we would want to have, routine checks with them, and just to kind of see how things are going with the overall, and the YMCA also agreed to that. That's something. Ultimately, everything is going to be fluid, right? It's going to be depending on interest and what are the needs, and we think the needs are high all across the board, so there's plenty of capacity. But if we need to make a adjustment, I think we have the right partner on board with the YMCA, because their mission is to provide the services that are needed, and not just fill a bottom line pocket kind of thing, So it's I think we really have. I know Councilmember Grassi mentioned that in a previous meeting that it's a really unique situation where we have what we have this group all together, whether it's with the school district and the YMCA and the city and our great clubs and partners around, that this really is a great opportunity and unique to be able to provide this service in a way that we haven't been able to do for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Thank you. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Wood.
Thank you, Mayor. So, Councilmember Cunningham was reading my notes again.
I have really good vision.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, seriously, that is one of my concerns, and I want to just reiterate what she was saying about that. First off, I'm very excited, and this looks like we're approaching, this passing, and I'm very excited about that. But I don't want that to end the conversation with UP Soccer Club and the other organizations in our community. I want that to just be the start, and then revisit in 6 months or 1 year, and just, give us a report of how things are going, how much conflict there has or has not been. I'm hoping for the has not. Yeah. And I will say I very much appreciate the Y and the school district working to try and deconfliction up front by scheduling things in off seasons. I think that's a really good idea, and I'm hoping it will bear fruit and we won't have anything to talk about in a year from now about conflict. So that's my hope, and while hope isn't a plan, I do think that it's a good way ahead. And so thank you for that, but I do want to stay engaged, stay follow up, and just not let it end here. Second question, I don't know which one of you would rather talk about this. If you could just describe in layman's language the insurance arrangements for this. I was reading through it. It looks like the Y is going to have a liability insurance that we're going to be part covered. But if you could explain it to us and the public about how this is going to work, I'd very much appreciate it.
That sounds like something the attorney should.
Here's what it boils down to, is, in putting it down in layman's terms, if something happens, there's the recognition that everybody involved is going to be a target. When we looked at this, we wanted to make sure we had the right coverages in place to protect the city regardless of whether we're at fault or not. And we're working on the assumption we're not at fault. We just start there. So in layman's terms, the insurance gobbledygook as it were, that had gone through extensive vetting with our risk pool. There still may be some further refinement as we're getting ready to go to press with this in advance of council action. But the idea is ensuring that the city is adequately protected in case something goes awry based on our contractual relationship with the Y.
And overall, our insurance folks, the WCIA, they have looked at the WISE insurance policies, and they are comfortable that what they have covers us. Part of it is just make sure we're documenting it, writing it properly in the appendix here, exhibit here. And we also have verified that the insurance needs of the school district for using the facilities also is met with the YMCA's coverage as well.
Okay, so then I will just, I'm twitching. I want to take a victory lap, but like the Mayor Pro Tem McCluskey is, we'll hold off. We're not there yet, but I think we're close, and I'm very excited about this, and I'm actually really excited about the partnership aspect of this too, between the school district, the Y, and us. I think this is going to be a really good thing overall for our community. Thank you, Mayor. That concludes my comment.
Thank you, Councilmember Wood. Councilmember Boykin.
Thank you, Mayor. It is tremendous to be able to talk about a powerful way forward for our community in ways in which not only have they expressed an interest, but a yearning. It is that much more satisfying to be able to offer up what appears to be a comprehensive way to fill a need that has been not only declared, but the wholesomeness and the holistic approach to life and youth and family and community-centered engagement being something that is right in front of us in terms of opportunity. It is more than exciting. When I think about what it could mean for ways in which development and people see how their families are impacted with the additional experience that recreation programs for youth and others can come about, and the partnership that is a given that has the jewels of this community working in tandem just really affirms that the City of University Place is building very intentionally the type of space that people ought to want to be a part of. And for me, that's the easiest way to interpret what's in front of me. I am beyond optimistic. The expectation of how things would be managed, I am going to leave that to the folks who are skilled in that. I trust that there is an expectation of what this would mean to our community in a number of different ways, and the joy of it being a real possibility and the fruition being something that so many people are a part of is it really is a moment of impact. And so I just appreciate where we are, looking forward to learning more, thankful for the folks who've come to the table to bring this forward, and listening to council, listening to community, and listening to partners that really can make this thing just special. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Boykin. Any other comments from council? Questions? And I've got just a few questions and comments. Jack, I want to begin with, first and foremost, saying thank you. I know this has been a long time coming. We've got probably a couple more hurdles to get over before it comes before council, but I am looking forward to it, coming to the council in April for adoption. I know for the years that I've been on council, I don't believe there's a single year that's passed that I haven't been asked the question from citizens of why do we not have a recreational program for our youth as well as for our seniors. So this is a first step, and it's a great step that we have going forward. I likewise just want to say I appreciate the wisdom of the council members here and all their comments. I think they're pertinent, obviously, to what we're trying to accomplish here. But I want to acknowledge the sensitivity you've had to our other organizations in this community that offer youth programs and the attempt there to be collaborative with them. The thing about the recreational program is that it really is that a center of developing those socialization skills for children, as well as those personal skill sets that they'll need that are lifelong. They're not just pertinent to the sports, but discipline that one gets participating in sports is lifelong, and it transcends to just about everything else we do. So I'm excited about that. What I also appreciate is the inclusiveness, that these programs are open for all children, regardless of skills or any other social barriers that may exist there, that regardless of if that is a child here in this community, they will have an opportunity to participate, and that's a big deal for me. I do have a question, and that is two parts. One is, I noticed we don't have some spring programs. I saw the skill sets programs, but I don't see anything for spring programs. Is there a reason why we're skipping over that for 2026?
For 26, we won't hit the first spring season will be 27.
Right. Why the delay? Why are we not starting earlier?
Oh, because the earliest we can do to get the marketing, because we need to get the marketing and the advertising out there. So to start a fall program, you need to registration will start in the summer. So they need at least 2-3 months of promotional, especially because it's a new program. So the fall for an actual league is the first we can hit. The summer for they're hopeful we can do those intro clinics in the summer for an early thing, because those you don't need as much of a registration period for a clinic type of thing, so that would just be in June. But spring, so like a spring program, that would have already had registration would have begun in, I think that usually begins in January. Okay. And so it precedes several months just to make sure they can get the coaches lined up and the referees and all that kind of stuff. So.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you. The second piece, and I don't know whether it was Mayor Pro Tem McCluskey or Councilmember Grassi who made the note on the marketing piece, but I really want to emphasize, and when I say I believe I've heard this from all the council members now, is that we want to ensure that this is marketed as a UP program in conjunction with our partner, the YMCA, in conjunction with our partners at the school district. I noticed in the presentation it said YMCA/UP. In my opinion, it's just one opinion. It should say UP/YMCA as part of that marketing that goes there. So with that said, is there any concerns, reservations, objections about bringing this forward in April? Councilmember Grassi.
No objections about bringing it forward. I just wanted to concur with Mayor Fleming, because the marketing is very important, as we all know at nauseum. You hear me, but that UP would be at the forefront. Yeah, but thank you.
And the YMCA has agreed. They're on board with that.
Thank you.
To our colleagues in DC, any questions, concerns, comments about bringing this forward? Okay.
Mayor, if I could, please, I just
Councilmember Boykin.
Thank you so much. I believe that's always been the case, so I hope that was, as it sounds like, just a presentation for today, but my understanding is what really made one of the things that much more impactful for me is that it was a City of University Place program where the YMCA was being just tremendously generous in terms of how it was supporting it and how they'd like to see it roll out. And so if that is not the case, I want to make sure that's been clarified, but it sounds like it is. So thank you so much for raising that issue, both Mayor and Councilmember Grassi.
Thank you, sir. Okay, Jack, again, thank you for really a job well done on that one, and I guess you've got your guidance.
Yep, thank you.
Okay. All right. Seeing that there is no further business before council tonight, I would like to declare this meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.